to look at question tags and short responses. Question tags and short responses. Now, what do we mean by a question tag? Question tags are short queries appended to a prior statement to confirm or to ratify what has been said, what has been stated, or what has been expressed. You use a question tag to confirm or to ratify what has been said. Alright, the statement can be positive, just as we have positive statements, can be negative, or can be command. But with that, there are certain rules guiding the use of question tags. And those rules rather, must be carefully adhered to. They include rule 1. A positive statement must be followed by a negative question tag. Take note of that. When the statement is positive, then the question tag you append there must be negative. E.g., it is alright with me. It's alright with me is a positive statement. Then we have isn't it? Isn't it? It's alright with me, isn't it? They all speak impeccable Queen's English, don't they? They all speak impeccable Queen's English, don't they? What do you mean by impeccable? Impeccable means flawless, perfect, error-free English. Alright, so we will come tomorrow, won't we? We will come tomorrow, won't we? So you have to look at the statements before you know the question tags you should be looking for in the exam. Now, when the statement is positive, as I've said, then the negative must be the question tag. Isn't it here? Don't there? Won't here? Whereas the statements are all positive. Alright, here. Now we want to look at rule 2. Just like the first one too, a negative statement must be followed by a positive question tag. It's just the opposite of the first one. A negative statement must be followed by a positive question tag. E.g., it is not fantastically wrong, is it? It is not fantastically wrong, is it? Don't forget, this is a negative statement. Not there has made it negative. It is not. It's different from it is fantastically wrong. But this one is not. So that makes it negative. Therefore, we have a positive question tag, is it? We won't come tomorrow, will we? They do not speak good English, do they? Now, for you to know the correct question tag, another thing you have to take note of is the tense of the verb and the statement. Whether that statement is positive or negative, you look at the tense of the verb. If the verb is in the present form, then your question tag, whether positive or negative there, must be in the present. But if it is in the past tense, whether positive or negative, your question tag there must be past. So, and if it is continuous, whether positive or negative, your question tag must be continuous. So you have to take note of the verb used in the statement, and that will help you a lot in knowing the correct question tag you append to the statement. Okay, rule 3. Rule 3 is divided into 2. Rule 3 is divided into 2, and that is a command. The first command says that if the command is directed at the second person, then it must be followed by will you. It must be followed by will you. What do you mean by second person? Let me quickly take you to pronoun. You know, in pronouns we have, we have I, you, me, they, them, us. They are all pronouns. But second person, when you talk of, okay, let's start with first person. First person is I. That is singular first person, I. Then plural first person, we. We. The second person, whether singular or plural, is you. You don't have what you have in Yoruba language in English. You do not have it in English. In Yoruba language, if a boy is 1 year old, I will say Iwo. But if they are 2, I won't say Iwo again. I will say Eyin. So there's nothing like that. No such honorific word in English. So it is you, whether singular or plural. Whether one person or 1 million people, still same you. That is what we call the second person. Then the third person, singular third person, is he, she, or it. He, she, or it. But the plural third person is they. They. So take note of that. So a command, therefore, directed at the second person, must be followed by will you, whether the command is positive or negative. E.g., stop making a noise. Will you? Go upstairs. Will you? Bring that book. Will you? So, as long as the command is directed at second person, the question tag must always remain will you. Then, the second type of a command is a command in form of a wish, directed at the first person, whether singular or plural, whatever. It will attract, shall we? A command in form of a wish directed at the first person attracts, shall we? I do not want you to make a mistake here. We have inform, then we have inform. These are two different things. We have inform. That one comes from information. It's the verb formed from information, which is a noun. Inform. But this one is inform. 2 words, not a single word, like the first inform. So please take note of that. 2 words here, inform. Alright. When you come across something like this, then the question term must be shall we? E.g., let us go there now, shall we? Let us assure them of their safety, shall we? Let us go, let's give them some money, shall we? You know, it's shall we if it is let us. You direct that statement to the first person in form of a wish. Let us give them some money, shall we? Let us assure them of their safety, shall we? Let us go there now, shall we? You look at it, you know it's quite different from the one here. Now, both of them are commands, in form of commands. But rule 4, negative words such as scarcely, hardly, rarely, seldom, never attract positive question tags. When you look at those words, so many people don't know that they are negative words. Scarcely, hardly, rarely, seldom, never. Never appears to some people as being the only negative there. But others too, the other 4 are also negative words. And when any of them occurs in the statement, then the question tag must be positive. Because that's exactly what we said here. Because they are negative. When any of them occurs in the statement, the question tag must be positive. E.g., I never knew him, did I? I never knew him, did I? I have did I here because of the past tense I used and the verb. Past tense of know is new. So that's why I have did I. But if I say, it's a different thing. If I say, I never know him, then you go, do I? So, but it is not know used here, but rather it is new. So we have did I. Then the second one, we scarcely see them, do we? We scarcely see them, do we? But it's a different thing. If I have changed that see to saw, we scarcely saw them, that one will be did we? But here it is used as present. We scarcely see them, do we? She said, "Don comes here." She said, "Don comes here." That's also a present. Does she? She said, "Don comes here." Does she? Don't forget, if I have written came here, that one will be did she. So you have to take into cognizance the tense of the verb used in the statement before you decide what's going to be your question tag. So let's continue. We are still following rule 4. Still on rule 4. When any of the following words, often, always, frequently, usually occurs in the statement, the question term must be negative. Why? Because all these words are considered to be positive, just as these ones are considered to be never, scarcely, hardly, rarely, and all those are considered to be negative. These ones are considered to be positive. And when any of them occurs in the statement, then the question term must be negative. They often call us, don't they? They often call us, don't they? She normally comes here, doesn't she? She normally comes here, doesn't she? He frequently visited them, didn't he? Now, look at the verb here. Call is in the present tense. Comes is in the present tense. Visited is in the past. So we have didn't because it's past. So he frequently visited them, didn't he? But the first one here says they often call us, don't they? She normally comes here, doesn't she? So, like I said earlier, you have to take note of the tense of the verb. If you don't take note of the tense of the verb, then you miss the answer. You miss the answer. So that is for rule 4. Then rule 5. Rule 5. When you have indefinite pronouns, and what are indefinite pronouns? Nobody, nothing, somebody, anybody, someone, anyone, somewhere, anywhere, everything, anything. They are indefinite pronouns. Why are they called indefinite pronouns? Please listen very well. They are indefinite pronouns because when you say, oh, excuse me, somebody came to look for you yesterday, or somebody out of you yesterday, it's somebody. It's not Mr. Olu. If you say Mr. Olu, that is definite. Or I meet you on the road, I say, where are you going? I ask, where are you going? You say, I'm going somewhere. Somewhere is indefinite. It's different from somebody who tells me that he or she is going to Aroro Makinde. I'm going to Aroro Makinde. That is definite. But I say, I'm going somewhere. That is indefinite. So, when any of these indefinite pronouns occurs in the statement, the question term must take they as its subject. Please take note of that. The question term must take they as its subject. Now, the first example here, we have everything is set. Then aren't they? Aren't they? It is aren't. Despite the fact that here you have is. But because we have said that the subject must take they, so they is plural. So that's why you change this one to plural too there because of they. So it's very important. Now, nothing is actually wrong. Are they? Nothing is actually wrong. Are they? Don't forget that it is also here. But because of this day, this one becomes A-R-E. So nobody was around. But because of they, then we have were they. Nobody was around, were they? It is true that was is here, which is singular. It is true that is here, which is singular. It is true that is here, which is singular. But because of the subject they, then you have to change all those ones to plural. That's why we have are in they here, a they here, and then were in they here. Please take note of that. It's very easy. Any of these indefinite pronouns, that's the law, and that's the rule. That's the law and that's the rule. You have to take note of it. You have to take note of it. So let's go now to look at responses. Question tags and responses. Now we want to go to responses now. We have seen the question tags, how the question tag can be appended to a given statement. Now we want to go to responses. How do we respond? That's what we are saying. See how to respond. I want to see how to respond to any given statement with the question tag. Responses are started off with the yes for positive. If the statement is positive, that will attract yes, and no for negative. If the statement is negative, then that one will be no. When the statement is positive and the question tag is negative, then the response will be positive. That is, this is exactly what I've done on the chalkboard here. P plus N plus P. P plus N plus P. That is positive plus negative plus positive. All right. Let's look at these three examples. Samson is an engineer is in T. Samson is an engineer is a positive statement. Then followed by negative here is in T. Then of course you have the positive there. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Don't forget, if this one should have been written this way, Samson was an engineer. This one will be what? Was in T. Then, yes, it was. But what we have here is a present tense of verb, is. Now, Biodun reads fluently. Doesn't he? Yes, he does. Biodun reads fluently. Doesn't he? Yes, he does. Don't forget, if this one is read, if there is no S here, that one becomes read. Biodun read fluently, that one will become didn't he? Yes, he did. But this is a present tense form of read. That's why you have reads there. Now, Dotun saw Bola yesterday. Didn't he? Yes, he did. We have saw here, which is past tense. That's why we have didn't. If, for instance, we have something like Dotun sees dollar every day. Dotun sees S-E-E-S, Bola every day. That one will be doesn't he. Then you're going to have yes, he does. But because it's a saw here, then this one becomes didn't. So Dotun saw Bola yesterday, didn't he? Yes, he did. All right. These are the yes he is, yes he does, yes he did, are what we refer to as short responses. Now, on the other hand, when the statement is negative and the question tag is positive, of course you know, then the response must be negative. That is N plus P plus N. N plus P plus N. So, the three examples here we throw more light. Now we have, they could not stop her. Could they? No, they couldn't. They could not stop her. Could they? No, they couldn't. She did not offend us. Did she? No, she didn't. You have did here. Of course, that one should also be did. Now, James wasn't around. Was he? No, he wasn't. James wasn't around. Was he? No, he wasn't. So these are the ways to tackle questions on question tags and short responses. Now, we want to look at some past questions. So let's quickly look at these 5 questions. Now, you are not too tired. I've supplied the correct question tag. You are not too tired, are you? Then you want to respond to that. You are not too tired, are you? Then, because this one is negative, this one must be negative. No, you aren't. No, you aren't. You are not too tired, are you? No, you aren't. Now the second one too, I think I have supplied the question tag for that one too. I said John saw Philip. I said John saw Philip. Now, it is not this saw that is going to control your question tag. It is this said. It is this saw. It is not this saw, but this said that will control your question tag there. I said John saw Philip. Didn't I? Didn't I? And because this one is positive, you are going to have positive question tag. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I said John saw Philip. Didn't I? Yes, I did. Now, because it is did, because of this said. But if it is something present, I say John sees Philip. I say John sees Philip. That one will be, don't I? Then yes, I do. All right. Then we have number 3 there. I also supplied the question tag for that one as well. He has stopped drinking beer. He has stopped drinking beer. Hasn't he? Hasn't he? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He has stopped drinking beer. Hasn't he? Yes, he has. But the last 2, I did not supply the question tag, neither did I supply the response. Now we want to look at it together. Let's look at it. What do you think is going to be the question tag and then the response? Okay? It's certain we shall travel by train. It's certain we shall travel by train. What is it? Okay, let me help you out. It's certain we shall travel by train, isn't it? Isn't it? It's certain, isn't it? Then the response will be yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's like saying, yet, yes, it is certain. Yet, okay, yes, it is certain. It's certain we shall Don't forget, this one is, it is, I've just abbreviated it, I've removed I there, so to shorten it. So yes, it is. Then look at the last one. You haven't seen them for a long time. You haven't seen them for a long time. So it's very simple. Have you you haven't seen them for a long time. Have you? Of course, the question, because this one is negative, the question will be, the response will be, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. And of course, you know, no, you haven't means no, you have not. No, you have not. So that's exactly what we have for now as far as the question tags and short responses are concerned. But I want to quickly remind you, it's very important and very simple too. At least you have 2 or 3 questions. In those days, it used to be 4 questions or questions, but they have reduced the question to either 2 or 3. It's no longer 4 as it used to be in the past. So you just have to know that when you have a positive statement, that will be the first thing you will consider. Then the answer there, you want to pick your answer, you don't pick positive again. If the statement is positive, you want to look for the negative question tag. And that one you pick for negative must have the same verb with the one in the statement. That is very, very important. Very, very important. Then, don't forget, we also mentioned something about the command. 2 types. Command directed at the second person. Stop that. It's like saying, you stop that, but we don't normally use say you, but it is implied. You stop that, you go there, but we don't normally say you, just say go there. Come here. Instead of saying you come here, you is there, is hidden there, is implied. So you are directing that command into the second person, and the question tag must be with you. But if it is in form of a wish, directed at the first person, then the question tag must be shall we. Let's stop there, shall we? Let's move on, shall we? So on and so forth. And again, when it is this indefinite pronoun that you come across in the statement, then the question tag must take they. Don't forget, the question tag must take they as its subject. Nothing is wrong with me, are they? Somebody was around yesterday, weren't they? So the statement negative type of thing should still be considered. The only difference in that is that they must end it, unlike these types that we have had a look at. So that is that for question tags and short responses. Thank you.